I don't know what circumstances would get you the Adventures of Kool Aid Man coloring book, but I love it. It's got fun and activities.
Hey, Kool Aid!
Oh yeah, Kool-Aid's here, bringing you fun. Kool-Aid's got thirst on the run. Get a big, wide, happy ear to hear Kool-Aid's mine.
Kool Aid Man almost looks like a bully. This thirsty thing is just trying to get away from him. He's just like, I'm just so thirsty. And Kool Aid Man, like, you can't have any of this. Or maybe he's just like, don't you want some? Either way, he seems like some kind of predator. Tasty Freeze, the famous ice cream brand. This is like the ice cream truck, you know, they put it and it does that thing. Makes the poop emoji. They had this fun and games book, which had a complete party plan. They have their two little mascots, T, and then the other guy, F. And then Tasty Freeze himself, he's right in the middle. I think he's riding a missile off into to go into Baskin Robbins or something.
Another Kellogg's Cornflakes morning with Cornelius Rooster.
Kellogg's Rooster's Early Morning on the Farm coloring book. This is that Kellogg's Flakes. This isn't Frosted Flakes. This is your Corn Flakes standard. No frosting at all. Your most boring cereal and its boring mascot of a rooster. Looks like he auditioned to be in Disney's Robin Hood and didn't get the part. And look how big he is. Like, I mean, he towers over the ducks, and even that cow in the background, I know he's in the distance, but that cow's like, whoa, that's a big rooster. Learn with Tony and its colors. This is Tony the Tiger, the most famous Italian-American of them all. This is him with his mom, I believe.
Tony.
Mama.
You look hungry. Come start your good breakfast with Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes cereal.
He's got a wife as well. Everybody has some variation of Tony. Of course, his son is Tony Jr. His daughter is Antoinette.
Thanks, dear. But I want to remind you that although Kellogg's Sugar Frosted Flakes is fun food, it's also good food.
What the heck is going on? Tony's like running into town, and meanwhile, a tree is going tree. I don't get why everything is all of a sudden Pixar and talking at Tony the Tiger. Also, the dog, it almost looks like his tongue. He's just got a yellow tongue with dog tattooed across it. Tony the Tiger in shapes and sizes. And that's Tony Jr. And Tony's like, just like, oh yeah, you got some balls, so I got a bigger ball. I got the entire earth. My thumb is pointing towards Italy. Sono grande.
Vincenti dei miei frostis ce la farai. I miei frostis? Fortis?
Tony the Tiger teaches counting, and there's Tony Jr. again, and he's like 2, and he's like, no, peace. And he's like, no, 2 apples. And the clock, who appears to be escaped from Pee-wee's Playhouse, is just staring a hole in you. Now we're subject to see what goes on in Tony's mind when he sleeps, which is not, I don't want to journey there too much, but if you're on a Frosted Flake sugar high, this might be what you dream of. All right, here we go. We've got the whole family. We've got Tony Jr., we've got Antoinette, we've got his mom, which is Mama Tiger, and then the wife, which is Mrs. Tiger, and then there's Tony the Tiger, and he's just...
That's all, it's sack time, so go to Eep's Lane.
I'm hungry, hey. Or oot pray, oot play.
All right, we'll have a little X-nay and then lights out, hey.
Toucan Sam's A, B, C's, and A is always apple. Do we not have enough A words out there? There's plenty of other things, Toucan Sam. He also had an Animal Friends coloring book, Snap, Crackle, and Pop, one of the oldest mascots of them all. Captain Crunch, Jay Ward did all the animation for this. I think that pirate is Jean or Pierre Lafoot.
Jean Lafoot Cinnamon Crunch Cereal, a good part of a nutritious breakfast.
And he appears to be twirling Captain Crunch's mustache. Here's the Play It Safe coloring book, and McGruff the Crime Dog appears to be putting the moves on Frankenberry. I'm sorry, that's not Frankenberry, that's Dr. Frankenberry's monster. I don't know what Pac-Man's like pointing at him and laughing. And I never thought that Sonny from Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs would be here and Lucky from Lucky Charms would be this tall. I just assumed Sonny would have been taller. Here, McGruff's gonna testify against you.
See, the Joneses know. If they don't tell the cops now, the Gilstraps will have to tell them later.
Hello, this is Harry.
Meanwhile, these fellas are eating lunch, about a block away.
R21.
Hey, hot pastrami. That looks very good.
I swear to God, I have the same pants McGruff is wearing in that. McGruff was great. He used to visit different schools, so if you were lucky, at some point, McGruff would come in, and basically, it was kind of just a head and hands, like fur hands, and then the guy was just wearing pants, shoes, and an overcoat. That is pretty special.
But this law-loving bloodhound has been up to no good, or at least the actor who plays him anyway. While McGruff takes a bite out of crimes like illegal drugs, actor John Morales apparently does not.
The most famous resident of SeaWorld, it's Shamu. Now, they have basically phased out the name Shamu, but this was an iconic mascot for SeaWorld back in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s.
Don't go skating on thin-iced lakes, or you might fall through.
I'm going to confess to you guys, I find Chiquita Banana oddly attractive. Hey, it's the swollen-faced Campbell's kids. And they're there with that dog. That's the dog that always, is the firehouse dog. But I know when I was a kid, we had a decal on our window, on our front door that said, what kind of pets we had. And he was on that decal. It's Ernie Keebler from the Keebler's Cookies. Good mascot. Love those cartoons where they would cut inside of the tree. When I was little, that seemed magical to me. There is a reference at the beginning of the movie Elf about these Keebler elves.
There are only 3 jobs available to an elf. First is making shoes at night while the old cobbler sleeps. You can bake cookies in a tree. As you can imagine, it's dangerous having an oven in an oak tree during the dry season. But the third job, some call it the show.
Here they go on vacation, but they appear to leave one behind. There's one guy that's like, well, I guess I'll just keep cooking. Just gonna slave away in this fire hazard. Round Town. This has got 2 different mascots. We've got Lifesavers and SpaghettiOs, both of who they're just round circles that have come to life. Scrubbing Bubbles, always one of my favorites. This is very cool. Like, it's a bubble, but it also has these weird cleaners hanging out the bottom of it. I had a bank, a coin bank with Scrubbing Bubbles on it. This is Fred the Baker. He was the mascot or spokesman for Dunkin' Donuts. It was really an actor playing this character, but he was everywhere on all the talk shows and always saying the catchphrase, time to make the donuts. This is kind of outdated because now Dunkin' Donuts doesn't have fresh donuts all the time, and a lot of them are open 24 hours a day, so there's really no time to make the donuts. They're delivered in the beginning, but it used to be, I think I had to get up early so the donuts would be ready for you when you got there. Piggly Wiggly, chain of grocery stores, mostly down south, one of my favorite characters. There's a great moment in the movie Space Jam where the alien spaceship lands in the parking lot of a Piggly Wiggly. They did that because of the similarities between him and Porky Pig.
Smoked hams, 89 cents a pound.
All right, well, there's some fun ones. Trip down memory lane. By the way, if you want to get a postcard from me every single month, it's just $3. Go sign up for my Patreon. Also, big shout out to Matthew, David, Chapin, Chris, Cheese God, Awkward But Awesome, and the Duchess and Earl of Sandwich. In a moment, a couple videos are going to pop up. On this side will be the video I did about the earliest mascots of them all. Snap, Crackle, and Pop are on that list, but they're not the first one. If you want to find out who the very first mascot was, it's right up here. Otherwise, YouTube says that is what is best for you, and I'll see you next time.